We'll be starting in just a moment. Thank you. Boy, you do good in listening.
Yes.
I'm very proud.
A teacher's dream.
You didn't even have to clap.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the November 20th, 2018 Seminole County School Board meeting. At this point in time, I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Sanchez, who has our invocation and to lead us in the pledge this evening.
Good evening. So happy you all could be here tonight with us. On this very special evening, as we swear in 2 newly elected school board members and 2 re-elected school board members, it is important to acknowledge the many reasons we have to be grateful. This short story that I would like to read to you, or share with you, originally was published by Reader's Digest. It reminds us that some of the most important moving lessons are taught by our youngest learners. When Mrs. Klein told her first graders to draw a picture of something for which they were thankful, she thought how little these children were who lived in a deteriorating neighborhood actually had to be thankful for. She knew the most of the students or class would probably draw pictures of turkeys or a bountifully laden Thanksgiving table, similar to the pictures that they have seen in picture books or books that she had read in class. That was what they believed was expected of them. What took, what took Mrs. Klein aback was Douglas's picture. Douglas was actually forlorn and likely to be found in class in her shadow as they went outside for recess. Douglas's drawing was simply this, a hand. Obviously, but whose hand? The class was captivated by his image. I think it must be the hand of God that brings us food, said one of the students. A farmer, said another, because they grow the turkeys. Well, it looks more like a policeman, because they protect us. I think, said Lavina, who was always so serious, that it's supposed to be all the hands that help us. But Douglas could only draw one of them. Mrs. Klein was so pleased that her class was engaged in the discussion and it was offering such great ideas that she almost forgot to ask Douglas what his drawing was. When she had the others at work working on another project, she bent over at his desk, and asked him whose hand it was. Douglas mumbled, "It's yours, teacher." Then Mrs. Klein recalled that she had often taken Douglas by the hand, more to comfort him than to guide him, and how many times she took the hands of the other children too. She didn't realize how much their gesture meant to Douglas, and perhaps to the others as well. A small tear formed in her eye. Perhaps she reflected. Douglas taught her the real meaning of Thanksgiving. It's not the material things that matter in life, but the small ways that we give something to others and give back to others. On behalf of the school board, thank you to everyone for doing everything that you do for our children, families, and our community. We hope you have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving, and a safe one as well. Please stand and join me for the pledge. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanchez. Let the record reflect that all 5 school board members are in attendance this evening, in addition to our superintendent and legal counsel. And because tonight is such a special evening, we looked in the record books and couldn't find a time that there were ever 4 school board members sworn in on the same date. So we wanted to have a little bit of a celebration. So we asked one of our own, Miss Ramona Herricks, one of our SCPS family members that we love dearly, to come and make this a little bit more of a special evening for us. Thanks, Ramona.
Must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. You always walk one step behind. I was the one with all the glory, and you were the one with all the strength. With only a face without a name. Never once I heard you complain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I want to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, they have appeared to go unnoticed, but I have it all here in my heart. You are the one to know the truth. I could not make it without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I want to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you're the wind beneath my wings. And I ever told you you're my hero, and you're everything, everything I like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you're the wind beneath my wings. Oh, you're the wind beneath my wings. Oh, you're the wind beneath my wings. Oh, fly. Fly away, let me fly so high.
want to thank you so very much. Now you can go and have your real Thanksgiving vacation.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing. Dr. Griffin?
All right, thank you, Dr. Calderone and board members, and congratulations to our newly elected board members. Before we begin our swearing in, I'd like to introduce, we have 3 judges here, and I would like to take the time to formally introduce them. They are very busy people, and they took time to be here this evening. Please stand when I call your name. Judge Collins, Judge Galuzzo, and Judge Kraus. Thank you very much for being here. I also see Judge Mark Herr is here. Thank you. Saw several of you this morning.
Yes.
So board members, this is a moment during the board meeting where we are going to slow down. You've worked really, really hard for this. You'll be sworn in individually, and immediately following your being sworn in, you can invite your family, friends, whoever you want for some pictures. Michael Lawrence is here, our professional photographer, to get some good shots of you. But I really, really want you to enjoy this. So let's begin this evening with Karen Almond.
Of the United States and the state of Florida. And that I am duly qualified to hold office. And that I am duly qualified to hold office. Under the Constitution of the state. Under the Constitution of the state. And that I will well and faithfully perform. And I will well and faithfully perform. The duties of the Seminole County School Board member. The duties of a Seminole County School Board member. On which I'm about to enter. On which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
My family's traveling. Okay.
Congratulations, Karen Almond. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Tina Calderon.
I do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend
The Constitution and the government
the Constitution and the government
of the United States and the state of Florida.
of the United States and the state of Florida,
That I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state.
under the Constitution of the state,
And that I will well and faithfully perform
and I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of a Seminole County School Board member.
the duties of a Seminole County School Board member
On which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter. So help me God. Thank you.
Come on. There we go. They were being shy. Congratulations, Dr. Calderone. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Kristine Kraus.
At this time, if you raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the government
the Constitution and the government
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of this state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of a Seminole County School Board member
the duties of a Seminole County School Board member
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yeah, that's your job. Wash your pan. See, nobody came down for me.
Congratulations, Mrs. Kraus. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Amy Pennock.
Yay!
All right, if you raise your right hand, please. I
I, Amy Pennock,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and government
and government
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of a Seminole County School Board member
the duties of a Seminole County School Board member
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mrs. Pennock. Congratulations to our newly and re-elected school board members. Back to you, Dr. Calderon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Griffin. At this point in time, I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Judy Ning with Lake Howell High School Seminole Education Association. Thank you, Judy, for being here. Sarah Hall from Longwood Elementary School, our Seminole County Public Schools Teacher of the Year for Elementary 2020. And Dawn Ballou with Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Thank you all for being here. Dr. Griffin, do we have any agenda modifications?
Just one, Dr. Calderon. The addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item.
Thank you. And school board members, do you have any modifications, clarifying questions
No
on any
modifications.
agenda items? I am going
Modifications.
to actually pull item 4H and I for discussion before a vote. And at this point in time, I'd seek approval of the agenda outline, please.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Dr. Griffin, we have some presentations this evening.
Yes, we do. It's time for our Seminole County Veteran Recognition.
Great.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin and board members. I think just in the sense of adding to the special nature of this evening, I thought I'd take a few moments and sing to you as well. I'm going to do it's a little song called Memories, like the corners of my mind. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce to you our Veteran of the Month, our Coordinator of Risk Management, Mr. Ralph Carvalho. Mr. Carvalho. Ralph enlisted in the United States Navy when he was a junior in high school under the Delayed Entry Program. In 1982, 2 weeks after graduation, he reported to Great Lakes Naval Base for boot camp. After boot camp, he attended Aerographer's Mate A School for weather observing. In 1991, he attended Aerographer's Mate C School and became a certified meteorology and oceanography forecaster. In 1993, he became a certified NEXRAD Doppler radar operator and a journeyman meteorologist with the Department of Labor. His first tour of duty was on board the aircraft carrier USS Kitty Hawk. Subsequent commands included aircraft carriers USS John Stennis, USS Theodore Roosevelt, amphibious assault ships USS Wasp, USS Saipan, and USS Nassau. He was at Naval Air Stations Glenview, Illinois, Memphis, Tennessee, Oceana, Virginia, and Jacksonville, Florida. While on board the USS Saipan, Ralph was promoted to Chief Petty Officer on September 14, 2001. While on sea duty, he participated in numerous campaigns and exercises, including Dynamic Response, Destined Glory, Alexander the Great, Determined Falcon, Croatian Fiblex, Image Nautilus, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Iraq Freedom. During Operations Enduring and Iraq Freedom while on USS Nassau from 2002 to 2003, he led a division of 10 personnel in providing meteorological and oceanographic tactical forecasts to Naval Marine Corps units. The USS Nassau and Marine Expeditionary Unit successfully completed an arduous 9-month deployment spanning the Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Gulf of Oman, and the Arabian Gulf. His awards and achievement include 4 Navy Achievement Medals, 4 Good Conduct Medals, Naval Reserve Meritorious Service Medal, 2 National Defense Medals, Armed Forces Expeditionary Service Medal, Global War on Terror Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terror Service Medal, Armed Forces Service Medal, Naval Reserve 10-Year Service Medal, Expert Pistol Medal, and 3 Service C Deployment ribbons. He was also recognized as Sailor of the Year, Sailor of the Quarter 8 times, Forecaster of the Quarter 3 times, Forecaster of the Month 11 times, and qualified as an enlisted aviation warfare and surface warfare specialist. Ralph Carvalho retired from the United States Navy after 24 years of service on April 30th, 2006. Ralph holds a bachelor's degree from Southern Illinois University in Training and Development, a master's degree from Troy University in Human Resources, and a master's degree from Emory-Riddle in Occupational Safety Management. Ralph joined Seminole County Public Schools in September 2017, and his position is the Coordinator of Risk Management and Workers' Comp. His wife, Lisa, and daughter, Ivy, join him today. Congratulations, Ralph Carvalho, our Veteran of the Month.
Board members, I pulled 4H and I to ask first under 4H if there is any board member who has a dying desire to serve on this RFP. I had questioned staff and they didn't feel there was a need. So if it's the pleasure of the board, we don't need board representation on that, and I'll let staff know. And then I also pulled 4I, and since that is a board appointment for an RFP for internal audit services, and we know one of our new board members, that happens to be her background, if you feel appropriate, I'd be honored if you could serve and represent the board in that capacity.
My pleasure.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And Ms. Moramis, I know you'll let staff know, and we can follow through from there. Okay. Now moving on to our consent agenda. Dr. Griffin, do you have a superintendent recommendation?
Yes, Dr. Calderon, my recommendation is that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to items removed for separate consideration. There are none. Student disciplinary hearing dispositions. Dr. Griffin.
My recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from October 22nd, October 29th, and November 5th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. We've now reached the public comments section of our board meeting, and I've asked Mrs. Almond to share our rules for such, and then I will call those wishing to speak up to the podium.
The public input session of the meeting is provided to allow the public to present specific matters to the school board for its consideration and referral to the superintendent and staff for inquiry and action, or address specific items on the agenda. The public input segment of the meeting is not open to presentations of campaign issues by political candidates or others, student disciplinary actions, pending employee disciplinary matters, or pending litigation. It is not the intent of the school board to deprive any person of his or her right of freedom of expression. It is, however, the intent of the school board to promote mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct on the part of its members of the public appearing before the school board. The school board expects positive communication and will not permit disruptive, volatile, hostile, or aggressive communication on the parts of the speakers. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and must clearly identify the matter to be addressed on their speaker sign-up form. The speakers shall direct their comments only to the school board and may not address the audience. Speakers that do not comply with the direction will be asked to leave the lectern. The school board is pleased that you have taken the time to come to this meeting and that you are willing to make your views known or speak on issues before the school board for action. Please state your name and address for the record when you come up to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Almond. First up is Mr. Dan Smith, followed by Karen Mazzola. Mr. Smith?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, sorry, it takes me long enough to get in. All right, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Dan Smith. I live in Longwood, Florida. I am a employee of Seminole County Public School. I teach at Lake Brantley High School, and I am also a parent, and I have 2 students who have gone through the system and graduated from Lyman High School and did very well through the system. I feel the county does very well. All right, I have 2 things I'd like to address. One is to welcome and wish the best to the new school board, which I'll end with. And the other is specifically just our teacher agreement contract that we have. As you know, we have an agreed-upon contract between the teachers of Seminole County Public School and the school board of Seminole County Public School. There's 35 articles. There's 115 pages. Most of it, specifically the salient details, are not very interesting, but it is the rights that the teachers have. It's a very broad concern, and I'm only going to superficially address it, but to me and many teachers, it's very important, a very sacred document, and that we feel that everybody in a position of leadership should be more than just passing familiar with it. And it's been my experience that a lot of our people in leadership positions are really not familiar with the contract at all. They certainly know it exists, but they're not familiar with many of the articles and positions that we have there. Now, I'm not blaming you, and I stand here frequently and do blame, but I'm not in this case, okay? This is one of the things that's happened, and the teachers have also allowed it to happen as well. It's just been the way it is. We're not saying the teachers have pushed it and then you have refused to follow it. You do in many cases. My concern is that I just feel that we don't really have anything in place for anybody in becoming an administrator to really be familiar or know the contract. And I think that we should treat it a little more seriously in this case. Tonight, we're not going to be able to do a whole lot about it, but I think that knowing the contract should be a requirement before anybody is considered to be put in a position. And right now, we don't have anything in place to do it. But as always, I do have suggestions that I'm not going to have time to go through tonight, but I'll be more than happy to send them to you and just maybe help out if you want to put something in place or some type of mechanism. I'm very familiar with all 32 or all 35 articles of the contract, all right? Finally, as my time is going down here, I do want to say also that congratulations on the 2 new school board members and that we have 5 in here now. I'm an employee of yours, and I'm glad to be here and always glad to work in here. I thank you for stepping up and doing the service and wish you guys the best as always and look forward to hearing from me because I do attend a lot of the meetings, and have a pleasant holiday and, well, a blessing on all of our houses. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. And Karen Mazzola, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's
Evening.
Karen Mazzola. I live at 204 South Somerset Court in Sanford, Florida. I'm here on behalf of Florida PTA, where I serve as treasurer, Seminole County Council PTA, where I serve as vice president of leadership, and Seminole High School PTSA, where I serve as vice president. Ms. Wing has my notes. I'm here to welcome our new school board this evening on behalf of the 61,000 students in Seminole County Schools, as well as our 16,000 PTA, PTSA members in Seminole County. We have met and exceeded our goal from last year. We're proud to report. New school board members routinely every year get a letter from me saying join PTA. So hopefully at one of the organizations you have joined. Each of you have accepted a position with the intention of serving your best. And as you embark on this journey, I just want to encourage you on behalf of our organization to remember that you are really unique among elected officials, that you're not elected by the majority that you serve, which are those students that attend our Seminole County schools. Now, Polly put me a note in there for me to have a long pause there. Exactly, but I figured you'd figure it out. She also is watching this, so I wanted to share. Polly's the president, for those who don't know. And she's probably knitting away watching because she's like, yay, there's 5 members on the school board. And she wants to know if one of you bought your dress at Old Navy, just so you know. I'm not going to name the member. Those students are too young to cast ballots, but their successes in academic and employment rely on you, as well as their safety, their social, economic, and emotional things that you do and administer impact all the children of Seminole County for the rest of their lives. We ask you to always act with their best interests in mind. We speak on behalf of PTA, every child, one voice, not just the PTA members and their parents. We'd like to partner with you as you help guide our schools as a part of our nation's largest child advocacy organization. We come to the school board meetings, we go to Tallahassee for the legislature, and we're going to Washington, D.C. in March. This is, if we can help you in any way, we please want you to let us know. Dr. Anne-Marie Cody is the representative from the school system that sits on our board, and we meet monthly. In closing, we want to thank you for accepting this challenge of role of community leadership. We're certain that the new members will soon come very familiar with PTA and all of our children. We want to encourage you, whenever you're frustrated by the budget, just remember the classroom. Go see the kids. We have a gift for each of you, explains our organization, and Jill will be putting them in your boxes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and
Thank
happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Next up is Mr. Phillip Capper. Good evening and welcome.
My name is Phillip Capper, 1005 Antelope Trail, Winter Springs, Florida. Thank you all so much for allowing me to be here this evening. I, as you know, normally reserve my comments to phone calls and texts to each of you on the school board. If you're new to the board, that's generally the way I will communicate with you. Normally, it's from something at the school when it's going not the way that I want it to. We live in interesting times. We have just come off of a very, very bizarre election cycle where my kids, that are both Seminole County students, got to watch moments of great morality and great moments of immorality. So what I wanted to tell you all today is, especially to the new members, my father's a rabbi and was a rabbi in the Navy for 20 years. And he likes to tell me that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth because you're supposed to listen twice as much as you speak. And I would encourage the board to do that. As things come up, listen, and you also have 2 sides. You need to listen to both sides. And I'm not telling you anything y'all already didn't know. I'm very proud of all of y'all already, but please make sure you listen, because as the parents, we know what we're talking about for our kids, and we have real concerns from time to time. I know you all have some very difficult decisions to make, and I ask that you all lead by example. We have a lot of healing to do in this county, and I hope that we can start here with this board as showing the way to the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Capper.
Thank you.
Seeing no unfinished or new business, Dr. Griffin, your superintendent's report.
There are 2 read-only items.
Thank you. Moving on to board comments and committee updates. Member Almond, please.
Thank you. It's a privilege to go first this evening. First and foremost, Jen and Kristine, welcome to the board. It's really good to have 5 members on this board once again. We're looking forward to a little relief. It's been a long 2 years. Rock Lake Middle School Varying Exceptionality team recently had a friendship Thanksgiving luncheon. It was awesome, and the students performed, and a lot of people from the county and across the district came out to participate, and kudos to them for featuring their students and celebrating with them. I won't go through everything because I know we haven't had a whole lot this last few weeks. The youth summit that recently took place at the rink was outstanding. That said, I know that we would really love to always be able to attend or to choose to attend or not, and I would love to see it better coordinated, either with Jill or Dr. Griffin for the future. And I know it's hard to coordinate speakers and things, but we get the notice so late, unintentionally, you know, I'm not pointing at anybody, but I really would like that to be given better consideration for the future. For all the school board members, Sanford Middle School has a STEM Expo on March the 14th. If you want to mark your calendars, you may not get an invitation for a while, but it's an outstanding event that they hold, and it will be jam-packed with really cool experiments and things. And let's see, congratulations, Commissioner Lockhart, on being sworn in today. Glad to have you here. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you so much. Member Sanchez.
Good evening. Also, congratulations to all four of you. It's a pleasure to sit on the board with you all. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving and safe holiday weekend or week. We had quite a busy couple weeks, or at least I did, of running around to different school visits. So a lot of us did that, where we had an opportunity to see some really unique things take place at Lake Mary High School. We watched a wedding in Spanish, and it was with a rabbi and a priest. And it was, Dr. Calderone and I really enjoyed that a lot. You came at the end. I think you were there too. Yes. So all three of us. And it's really nice having all 5 school board members because since I was elected, really, I've only been a part of the 4. So the Early Learning Center, Tanisha Wells invited me to help get our bibs and everything ready for the Great Start program. So we were getting everything organized, and appreciate all the extra support that we had. A lot of the Sanford Police Department was there helping us, and it's for the class of 2037. Isn't that unique? It's wild. Also had an opportunity to go to the Seminole County Public School Community Academy Leadership event that we had last week at Wakive Elementary School, and the students performed for everybody, or the core students did, and we had a nice visit there. Hall of Fame event was our first annual Hall of Fame event at Lake Brantley High School, and we had that, and we had quite a few famous people there from Lake Brantley, and it was a really wonderful event, and it was packed house. Many of us had an opportunity to do teach-ins. I did Caroline Elementary School, and then we had to be back over here, so I had disciplinary hearings in the morning. I'm not sure if you realize that we do that too as well. We did Seminole County PTA invited Dr. Cody, and PTA invited us to Dr. Walsh and I to speak about mental health and a kickoff that we'd like to do. Eventually, you'll be seeing information coming about with that, Mr. Capro. It's something with the listen and you'll never hear the same way again, and it's about listening. It's going to be really a wonderful program for everybody. So I'm looking forward to getting the information out soon with Michael Lawrence and everybody. So, and of course, the Hurricane Michael school supply drive was amazing. I don't know what other words to say, but we collected quite a bit of items for them, and I'm sure that anybody wants to speak about that too. And then Business Advisory Board, we had an opportunity, which we've already seen, but we went over to Seminole High's ed program and saw the aviation unit again, so that was wonderful. And I also had an opportunity to go to Journeys Academy and do their Thanksgiving feast with them, and we had quite a few people in the community that helped serve. Students were wonderful. They had family members there, and I really enjoyed myself. We had a ton of food. And with that, happy Thanksgiving.
Great. Thank you so much. Member Pennock.
Dr. Griffin, just want to say kudos. Over the past couple months, I've gotten the chance to meet with all of your directors, and it has been a wonderful experience, very knowledgeable, very welcoming, open to questions. It has been such a great experience to take this time to onboard. And so thank you for leading such a great team. Thank you to all the team as well for doing what you do every day.
Well, thank you. It's our pleasure.
I look forward to working with each of you. It's a very exciting time, and I did get the opportunity to go to one school event with Dr. Griffin at Lake Mary High, where we attended a safety discussion with students, and it was very engaging. These students, I don't think when I was their age, I was that into school as much as these kids were, and one of the kids in the class just so happened to be the son of one of my daughter's teachers in elementary school, and she reached out and said that he really enjoyed the experience and got a lot out of it. So keep it up, kudos.
Great.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. And Ms. Kraus.
Thank you very much. I would first like to thank Jill for making this transition amazing. I have had last week 11 meetings, yesterday 4 meetings, and lots of caffeine to keep it going. And I think she's the unsung hero, just making the transition so smooth. And I'm very thankful for her guidance. I also attended the Community Leadership Academy. I'm a part of that, and I am so impressed with Wakaiva Elementary and all the programs that they're running. On Friday night, I also attended the Lake Howell Band performance before they went. I didn't hear how they did, though. I don't know how they did, and competition. But it was cold, so they gave them an extra 10 minutes to warm up their reeds and lips and fingers and all of that, and it was an awesome performance. I am so excited to be here. My supporters, thank you, and I'm very thankful. I wish you all a blessed Thanksgiving.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
First, I'll report on my committees that I represent this board on. Insurance Committee, we're proud to report that 99.94% of our employees signed up for their annual enrollment. It's phenomenal. So thank you for your leadership, Ms. Bunce, and Ms. Herr for your support. We truly, truly appreciate it. And while we're marking our calendars, everyone has to mark your calendar for February 23rd for the 2nd annual Walt Walk. This year it will take place at Lake Mary High School, and we look forward to having all of our teammates there because we know we want to stay healthy. Maybe not so healthy over the Thanksgiving meal, but keep that in mind for the future. The Seminole Chamber meeting this month, we actually had a keynote speaker, Sheriff Dennis Lima, talking about leadership. That was very interesting, and we also had to say goodbye to Ray, our COO of the Chamber. So he's going to lead the Mount Dora Chamber. So the Chamber organization will be doing a search for a rehiring of that position in the near future, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date on that. Our monthly zoo meeting, I saw the president was here earlier, Dino Ferry, but we were pleased to promote Dr. Stephanie Williams. Yes, she just received her doctorate this month, and she is now number 2 in command at the zoo. And we were also very, very pleased that we will actually be the beneficiary of this, but the zoo wrote a grant to the Wayne Dench Foundation, and they are going to support all of our Title I students to go to the zoo free of charge on field trips. So they'll be communicating that out to our teachers, and hopefully a lot of students will enjoy that experience. And our monthly SHAC meeting, I emailed you all the handouts because I didn't want to take up too much time on the agendas. But I also wanted to send out kudos, as we seem to do at almost every meeting, to the Seminole Sheriff's Office. I had the opportunity to attend, as many of you did this past month, many focus graduations, and that wouldn't occur without the phenomenal working relationship we have with our SROs, SRDs, and the Sheriff Office. The Veterans Day programs this year were even better than ever, and I know we were zigzagging around the county, but it is so heartwarming to see our children really understanding what Veterans Day is and keeping that third C alive of citizenship in our schools. Teach-In was a great opportunity. The Tooth Fairy flew around to a few schools. And of course, our Teacher of the Year surprise visits. We have one of our beneficiaries here from our elementary schools, but we are all looking forward to celebrating all of our Teachers of the Year coming up at our big banquet sponsored by the Foundation for Seminole County Schools. And many of us had the opportunity to say thank you and happy Thanksgiving to some of our hardest working teammates out at our transportation department.
that's right, we
They're so grateful, and we're so grateful to have them, because think of it, they're the first smiling face our children see every day and the last smiling face that they see before they go home each night. So they set the tone for the day. And in addition to that, we all celebrated Educational Support Personnel Day. I see Tina, our winner last year of that award, but we truly, especially at this time of year, are so thankful for everyone in our Seminole County family. We thank you for what you do each and every day, but especially this time of year. Wicklow, as you know, is a new magnet program for us, and they celebrated with their World Language Night, and they had students kindergarten through 5th grade speaking all night long in Spanish and French. It was very impressive, and they're doing a great job with that program there, so I invite all of you to stop by and see how that school is truly transforming into the magnet we had envisioned for it to be. Kudos to our phenomenal art teachers who brought our students out to Maitland Rotary Art Fest this weekend. We were well represented. And last but not least, I just want to congratulate not only my fellow school board members for being sworn in, but also all the other city commissioners and county commissioners within our community. I'm really looking forward to us working collaboratively and collectively for the good for this community, as you said, Mr. Capro, to maybe, just the future is bright. I really feel we have the right people representing all of our citizens, and we are here to listen, to learn, so we can effectively lead, and it's truly our honor to do so. Is there any further business, board members, to come before the board? Seeing none, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Dr. Griffin.